What's happening, Spider Friends? Welcome back to our Spider-Man series, and this is the Armored Advanced Suit, part of the brand spanking new DLC update for Spider-Man 2018 on PS4, as well as your ability to move your save file of Spider-Man PS4 over to the PS5 Remastered Edition. So these suits were created for Spider-Man Remastered, but as a little Thanksgiving special free gift, Insomniac has granted Spider-Man PS4 players the 3 new suits, and this is our next showcase, which is the Armored Advanced Suit that has no comic book bearing whatsoever. This is just a fun little new suit that was added to bring the total of Spider-Man suits to 40, I believe, or 43 on Spider-Man 2018. Which, yeah, I mean, you could just call it Spider-Man, but there's so many different Spider-Man games that it's just kind of like, it's easier just to say Spider-Man 2018. Because you have Miles Morales Spider-Man, and then you got all the other previous Spider-Man games. So,
yeah,
yep. And Spidey looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
So basically, think of this kind of like Spider-Man's advanced suit that he gets in the main story from technology from Doc Ock. And then, well, not the Octo suit. I'm talking about like the, you know, his regular kind of sports looking suit.
Technology that he gets from Doc Ock, because he worked on more than just the Octo suit.
Right. So the one where he says, "Hello, New York," he has his advanced suit. You know, the thing.
This suit looks really nice.
Where is it?
Oh, wow, we had a lot of suits.
Yeah, there's 40.
Oh my god.
That one. That's what I'm talking about. The advanced suit.
It's kind of like that suit, but then he's got like this armor plating over it, which looks, or at least that, or it's great.
It's kind of like that.
I wish I knew what it was made out of. Like, is that Kevlar or something? Like, I don't know, it's armor or something. But it looks kind of like a sporty, like, feel, like he's running a marathon, or he's a cyclist or something, or some kind of sports figure, but then also Spider-Man at the same time.
Yep.
It looks really nice. Like, whoa, when I saw it, I was like, oh wow, that's nice.
And we are still playing the PS4 version of this because we're too scared to look at Remastered right now.
Yeah, we don't want it to brick our system.
No, because these PS5 things are really hard to get.
It's hard enough keeping our cat from destroying our system.
Yeah, Zelda likes to actually climb on top of the PS5 now, which, the thing is, she's dominated the PS4 for the past, like, 4 years.
Yeah.
She just climbs on top of there and goes to sleep. And now she wants to do the same to the PS5.
So, if you guys don't know, if you guys don't have a PS5 or whatever, the PS5 does not really, it doesn't have like a flat surface on the bottom or the top, so it's not sturdy. Like, if you would have a cat sit on it, you could literally topple it and destroy it and smash it. So, like, I don't know, I guess they were trying to make it look cool, but it's just not a sturdy design. Like, I wish that there was something they would sell with it that could, like, they could cradle it in something that was flat, so that there would be no issues anymore. And if your cat sat on it, then there would be no problem.
I think we're going to have to buy an accessory that can, like, help the system. They have to make something that will help it stay horizontal.
Because the amount of times we've had to rush over and keep our cat from destroying it has already been a lot.
Yeah.
And we just got it.
And she knows it's there now. She's well aware of her surroundings. She sees the difference. She's like, wait a second. This is new. I don't recognize this thing. This is warm and loud, and maybe I could sleep on this. It's like, no.
It just reminds me of why, like, systems like the GameCube that were, like, built to last, or people have actually dropped them off a, like, third-story window, and then they put plug it in, and it actually works. Like, there's such a huge difference. I mean, I'm sure the PS5 is built to last, but it's not built to stay on a shelf. Like, it's just, it's frustrating. I like systems that are sturdy, that are built not just to play games well, but also built in case something happens to them. Like, I don't like the fact of a you know, very sensitive, like, flimsy system. It's weird. That's my 2 cents.
Oh, Spider-Man has problems climbing in this one. So they actually fixed the climbing mechanic for Miles, but Peter has a lot. He can't hang over surfaces the way that Miles is able to go and do the upside-down Spider-Man hang wherever he wants. Peter Parker can only do it at specific parts in the city. He also, you guys notice that how he's having problems clinging to walls and climbing up vertically, like upside down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This was the problem we had with the 2018 game, and people were like, "Oh, why are you complaining about his crawling up walls? It's not a main part of the game." It's like, he's Spider-Man. He's supposed to be able to cling to any surface.
And it kind of proves us right, because if there wasn't a problem with it,
then why did they fix it?
They wouldn't have fixed it. There obviously was a problem. And honestly, if people like us, like content creators, don't say anything, a lot of times people won't fix those things. So you're welcome for all the times you guys complain that we were complaining, because we weren't complaining. We were pointing out a problem that needed to be fixed.
Yep.
But you guys were complaining about us complaining. Not you personally watching, but I'm saying
people on the
people in general that were complaining about us.
That's actually pretty cool looking. That's a nice little shot right there. I like that. We're just gonna yoink. So yeah, we're playing on the PS5, if people didn't know, but we're not doing remastered because
it looks pretty sleek. It almost looks like you're a different hero, honestly.
Nah.
I don't know. You look like some kind of hero that has a cowl or a hood. Well, I mean, Spider-Man does have a cowl.
Yep.
But
And we have a few more Spider-Man suit showcases to show you guys. I have some lore on the end suit coming up for Miles Morales, as well as the Spider Cowl, because that red Santa suit actually has some Marvel lore to it, because it's based on a Marvel character called the Crimson Cowl, which you guys will have to stay tuned for that. Ah, why am I so bad at this? I can't talk and play every single time. I never drop cars as Miles.
Well,
ever.
When you were talking about lore.
Yeah, whatever.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Like you said, the buttons on this game are slightly different. The controls are a little bit different.
Yeah, I've noticed that. So Spider-Man flips a lot easier in Miles Morales version. And in this one, not so much. You just...
But some of the controls are opposite too. Like, you spin the opposite way, or it's a different button to spin. Mm-hmm. So it's like... It's almost like playing on... Not quite like Goofy Foot, but almost.
I mean, if I'm doing a little bit better because I'm getting used to this, but I can't wait to switch back to Valhalla from playing Spider-Man for... a couple weeks, because I mean the controls are so drastically different. Like the dodge is usually circle, the dodge in Valhalla is square.
Yeah, you get
punching,
used to
and
it.
you know, it's, oh my goodness, it's so hard to switch back and forth. But our new Let's Play, which is starting up now that Spider-Man is technically officially over, you guys are going to see the last of the side missions. There's 2 side missions left at the recording of this video that need to go up. You've got the tearjerker side mission for Miles' birthday, and then you have the final Spider-Man Hollow Pete thing, which is our epic conclusion to the story stuff. And then you have a couple suit showcases and a few spider lores. So the end Spider-Man is still being worked on, because that's a lore why Miles Morales is wearing that suit. And then you have a mini lore kind of on who the Crimson Cowl is. It's not a Spider-Man character, so it's actually kind of interesting that they had Miles wear that suit, because there's no connection to the Crimson Cowl and Spider-Man.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yep, it's actually usually a Marvel villainess, not a Marvel villain. Yeah,
interesting. Wow.
But she is related to a Spider-Man villain.
Oh.
Yep. So you guys will have to stay tuned to that lore.
Now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, our new Let's Play is a really fun game that wasn't supposed to come out in America. It was a Japanese Switch exclusive for a while, but thanks to the pandemic, they decided to bring it over. And it wasn't even
Pandemic?
I know. Wasn't even in our US eShop showcase or Nintendo Direct. Wait, Norman Osborn's going to be mayor?
Oh my god.
Osborn, a better New York. Yikes. That's bad.
His face looks like the face of a mayor.
Yeah, I guess.
Honestly, his face kind of looks like a face of a mayor. There was some kind of politician or is it the mayor or the governor of New York? It kind of looks like him, honestly.
Oh, Como.
When this whole like zombie apocalypse thing started, every day in my feed, I didn't even know who this guy was. He was either the governor or the mayor of New York. And every day he'd be making videos about how people need to send him more money, and if he didn't have more money, he can't do anything about helping people. I was like, wow, this guy is asking.
But he made the same mistake as Michigan. He basically like had sick people in the nursing homes that had it, and he put those people in the hospital that spread it.
The thing is, money does not solve every problem. Doing things smart solves the problem. Like, you know, there's actually been countries around the world that have way less money than us that have actually handled this zombie apocalypse thing better and more smart. Oops. That's why you can't always solve every problem by sending money to it. Like, honestly. I'm not trying to get weird or anything, but honestly...
I'm used to the Venom strike. I can't do it.
You can't throw money at every problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't solve all your problems.
So you have to play this game like Spider-Man now. You don't have... I guess it kind of became my crutch, like turning invisible and... you know, using spider venom. I have to rely on my spider gadgets. I'm serious. I have to rely on spider gadgets, and
it probably takes a while to get used to it again.
I don't even know what to do anymore. I think. Oh, that's a web explosion. Yeah, there we go. So I can just move them over there.
Since they updated the controls for Miles, whatever. Yeah. So when they have a third Spider-Man game, or like I guess
Spider-Man 2.
I guess it's Spider-Man 2.
It'll be called Spider-Man 2.
So when they have Spider-Man 2, the game, because Miles was supposed to be like a DLC, but it turned into kind of like a mini game or a
side story
game.
Spin-off.
So, spin-off game, exactly.
Yeah, it's a spin-off.
With a Miles story. So when they have Spider-Man 2, the game...
Yes.
Do you think the controls will be more like Miles, or more updated at least? Or at least it'll be easier to climb buildings, or the controls will actually be easier to use, do you think? Or...
It's much easier to climb buildings in Miles Morales game than it is Spider-Man.
Oh, but the only thing that you'll be lacking is you won't be able to be invisible.
I thought he had a suit that made him invisible.
Oh,
I guess I'm wrong.
Maybe he did. No, I thought he did also.
I don't remember. I mean, we looked at a ton of suits in this game.
Yeah.
We stretched this game on... It actually lasted until 2019 because there was additional DLC that came out. You had the different, you know, the Black Cat DLC, then the Hammerhead.
I'm just surprised that all these channels that started their channels with this game, and they were just basically saying this game was the best thing that's ever existed on the earth, best game since sliced bread, and then they were making the Spider-Man, what is it? The Spider-Man, community, like the 5 or 6 YouTubers that were this exclusive quote community that were exclusively Spider-Man PS4 gamers. Like, I don't see their channels, I don't see their videos anymore. Like, we played the game way longer than
They all
them.
switched over to Mortal Kombat.
Like, they were
switched,
all, no offense, but they were all talk. They didn't start a Spider-Man community, they just left it. Yeah, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
They started it, and then they went and they migrated over to Avengers and Mortal Kombat. And the thing is, they'll do the same thing with Gotham Knights.
But like, that's what I have a problem with YouTubers that say one thing and do another, because it's like they hype everyone up, everyone subscribes.
They're hype channels.
Yeah, I hate that, because you're actually lying to get views, because you're telling everyone, I will never play anything but Spider-Man. I will always play Spider-Man. I'm gonna be playing this till Kingdom Come. And then a new game comes along and you're just like, I will never play anything but Mortal Kombat. I will be playing this. Like, it's just like, dude, like, if you're gonna switch from one game to the other, at least tell people. Don't lie to people. Never mind. I just find it interesting that they didn't really do that, what they said they were gonna do.
Well, I mean, in MK11's defense, they've just done something, like, really cool besides bringing Rambo in. Fans of like the 90s movies, like the original Mortal Kombat movies, they brought in the original actors of Raiden, Johnny Cage, and Sonya Blade and did movie skins. So now you can, I don't know why I was trying to attack those guys. You can now use, soon, you can use movie skins of those original actors, playing, you know, that stuff. So that's really cool. And the ultimate version of that game, you get a lot of bang for your buck. Like, you don't have to pay for all the additional DLC, all the characters. You buy the game for, I think it's like $49 or $50, and then you get access to all this stuff, plus all the new stuff. And that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
But the only reason they're doing that is because there was no Batman stuff at all for Warner Brothers in 2020, because they basically, you know, sidelined all their stuff except for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That's true though. That's it. You guys can thank 2020 pow for all the Mortal Kombat stuff because DC would have been focusing all their money on other DC properties. That's just the fact. So there was some good that came from 2020 in video games, but basically they're just continually milking all these properties that they can't work on other stuff right now.
I feel like with people that are like younger, every new game that comes out, like from now on, like, and basically from, you know, when we were gaming on, like every year they up the graphics on every game, like that comes out in every system. So like when Spider-Man came out, it was basically upping the graphics from anything a lot of people had seen before for a superhero game. And like I feel like younger gamers get all kind of googly-eyed about that and then start saying this is the best game that's ever been made in the universe. But what they're saying that out loud, but what they really mean is this is the best looking game. But in their mind, it's the best game that's ever been made because it's the coolest looking game they've ever seen. But with older gamers, you and I know there will always be a game that's going to end up looking cooler. Like, they did this game, but then when they did Miles Morales after that, the graphics looked even better. And they'll just keep getting better. So you and I know that you can never quite say, oh, this will be the best game ever, because you know there'll always be in a few years another game that will look even better. I mean, like, I'm not trying to, like, I feel like I even have higher standards for people, but it's just like, I don't know, it's always, like, kind of weird to me to hear really young gamers be like, oh my gosh, this is, like, gonna be the best game that's ever gonna exist. And it's like, no, there'll be something else. Like, they're always gonna top it. That's what people do. They're always gonna work from what they've done before and do it better. Sorry, you can keep doing your thing.
No, it's okay.
It was just, I think that's why, like, I didn't really get that googly-eyed, because yes, this game looked amazing. This game is amazing looking, but they'll always keep improving everything.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, you have to remember too, like, the reason why this game has now finally sold over 12 million copies. The reason that is a case is because, I mean, it's a Sony property. So, I mean, it's a Sony exclusive. It's also being heavily pushed by Sony compared to a lot of their other stuff. So the reason why this is a top-selling superhero game of all time is because it is an in-house studio for Sony. So it's part of PlayStation Studios. That's what Insomniac is now. They're not They're not like a developer that's owned by a company or a corporation, like, you know how Rocksteady is part of Warner Brothers Games. You know, Warner Brothers Games does not have a console. They are a game studio. Insomniac is part of the PlayStation machine. Like, they're not their own company. So a lot of their success is not because of Insomniac alone, is because of PlayStation Studios, because they're under that moniker, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Spider-Man games are going to be milked tremendously because Sony knows that if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Which is something that Warner Brothers needs to desperately learn, because, I mean, there's going to be a lot of great Spider-Man stuff because of that now.
So...
nonstop.
Wow, so I didn't know this was the top-selling superhero game of all time.
I'm pretty sure it outsold Arkham City now, but it didn't outrank Arkham City.
But looking back at this game, though, it does look really nice.
It does. I like the Spider-Man PS4 version better, because the problem I have with the remastered one that I've seen is they increase the lighting and stuff like that. When you're driving through New York City, you have lots of, like, shade and shadows and stuff because of how massive the buildings are. You have pockets of sunshine that come out, like, peeking in between the buildings. In the PS5 version of the remaster, like, there's a lot more lighting, but it's not realistic to Spider-Man web-slinging through the city, because there's going to be shadow, there's going to be darkness and stuff like that in between the buildings, and there seems to be sunshine peeking places that it really shouldn't be able to. So
yeah, you're right, Lou.
It's also the problem I have when they made the Arkham games again on PS4. When they redid Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, they took away some of that mystery and murkiness that they had prior.
Yeah.
You know, there was really hardly any fog anymore. They got rid of a lot of the shadow and the dark stuff. They made the models look a little bit more cartoony than they did. So it's the same problem I have with Spider-Man Remastered, is they brightened it up a lot more than they needed to.
Yeah, it's like they made it look better, but they didn't make it look better.
Yeah, they got rid of the atmosphere of New York City.
Yeah, it's like there were details in it that were, you know, they eliminated by trying to make it look graphically more high res, but they actually eliminated really important details.
Yeah. They nerfed it a little bit. I mean, there's still parts of the game that you're like, oh yeah, I totally feel that. But
Luke, you and I have played so many Spider-Man games. Just looking at this game again, and I'm just going through my mind of all these different Spider-Man games we played. I mean, this is like the epitome of this is like what every person was imagining while playing those old Spider-Man games.
Yep.
Of what this is what it was in our mind, like that we kind of self-edited in our mind, like, oh, well, yeah, this is blurry, or like this kind of looks like a school, but I mean, I didn't remember there was so much detail in this game, like.
Well, I mean, you're also playing on the PS5, honey, so just so you know, your PS4 games, when you play them on the PS5, they get a kind of visual upgrade a little bit.
But still, I mean, all the little details of the environments and stuff. I mean, every tree, every little sidewalk in the school, it's like... I mean, the amount of time and energy that they took to... Oh, now we can check and see if they have different things in the windows.
Yeah.
That's a kitchen.
They do.
Oh, wow, Luke. Interesting. So, Miles Morales Spider-Man, although they upgraded a lot of stuff... The windows. They have all the same things in the windows a lot of times in Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not like people really check for the windows.
No.
I mean, that's honestly what you have to, at some point, like, you could work, if you really wanted to make a scale model of New York City, I mean, you could go for, you know, you could work on it for months, you could work on it for years, you could work on it for decades. I mean, if you wanted to get every detail right, at some point you have to stop and you have to be like, okay, this is enough time. Like, we did enough detail, like, it's over. Yeah, it's just...
It's so hard not seeing the Chrysler building, though, in the Miles Morales game, because it's a part of New York City's skyline.
Oh, that's the Chrysler building?
Chrysler building is right... We've been hanging out by it a lot. It's right there.
Oh, the pretty one?
Yeah, the thing that you're
with
like...
the blue top?
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's like the Empire State Building.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's not the Empire State Building. That is,
Wow.
Yeah, that's the Chrysler Building. I'm pretty sure. The one with the gargoyles and stuff on it, yeah. Whoops.
And I wish I could be an architect and design a huge skyscraper like that, but I'd need another lifetime to do that.
Pretty sure the Empire State Building is... Well, I mean, you saw it. It's around, but that pretty much that's the Chrysler Building. So anyway, people, that is going to do it for today's showcase.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for our newest Let's Play of Rice and Ruin, which is going on now. Very fun game, T-rated. Very different than some of the stuff that we've done, but it's a blast. And it's a cool little platformer game. So we've got great Let's Plays coming your way in December, but yeah. Thanks so much for watching our Spider-Man series, and we have one more suit to show you from this game, and then we've got a few left for Miles Morales that we did, as we're currently working on Rice and Ruin. But thanks for watching. Tell us your favorite Spider-Man suit again in the comment section below. And we'll see you with some other videos as Spider-Man winds down this week. God bless and happy gaming.
See